The clock is ticking to get out and see all the Halloween decorations before November rolls around. So if you can't get out this season, don't worry, we have you covered. We're cracking open the CBS 2 vault, going all the way back to 1978, as Harry Porterfield takes us to a super freaky house in the suburbs.
We're taking you now to South Suburban Cook County, to 14108 Costner in Crestwood, to a pleasant house in a rural setting. It is here that we will meet our someone you should know, Bill Richter, along with his wife Ethel, their daughter, relatives and friends. He is a self-employed tool and die maker, has his shop next to his house. We've come to visit the Richter residence because we have heard that when the sun goes down and day turns to night, some very strange things begin to happen here. Very strange indeed. With the darkness, an assortment of dreadful things descend upon Bill Richter's front lawn. And if they weren't horrible enough just being there, the creatures have the nerve to move, too. All of this is what Bill Richter does for Halloween. He and his helpers put up all the displays at nightfall and take them down 3 hours later. They do it each night of the 3 weeks preceding Halloween. Richter explains the animation is achieved through the use of fishing line, barbecue motors, and a bunch of safety pins. Now, let's meet the star, Mr. Phantom of the Opera. How did it get started, these horrors for Halloween? Let me tell you, the Phantom knows.
My daughter wanted to hang a scarecrow on a tree, and we hung him in there. The following year, she wanted to put a ghost in a tree. And I says, would you like that ghost to move? And she says, could you do that? And I says, sure. So we did that, and we got good response. So we started off with the casket, and we ended up here 4 years later.
And 4 years later, audiences have gotten so big they block traffic in the street. Sometimes candy is passed out to the kids. And interestingly, there has never been a litter problem. Bill Richter, alias the Phantom, and someone you should know.
That was Harry Porterfield reporting. 2 years later, in 1980, Bob Wallace got a first-hand lesson on how to properly carve a pumpkin.
It is not often that you get a chance to be flanked by both presidential candidates at the same time, Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter. In reality, these are pumpkin carvings. They are the work of Dean Koretos, who's the banquet manager at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare in Rosemont. Dean Koretos is not a trained artist. He began carving pumpkins a few years ago as a way to make a different kind of jack-o'-lantern for his kids. Each one represents at least 5 hours of work. He begins by tracing the outline of what he will carve on the pumpkin skin. This one will be the shark from Jaws. His first job is to create the basic shape and then work in the details. Teeth are an important feature of this shark. Carving a pumpkin this way creates a pile of shavings. It helps to spread an old tablecloth or newspapers around your work area. Soon the shark is taking shape, and the teeth begin to emerge from the basic structure. Having a little fun with this, Dean decided to add a little mustache to give the shark a Bob Wallace look. That's a Bob Wallace shark.
Well, it's a Bob Wallace shark.
Most of his ideas come from his children. Depending upon what movies are popular, they suggest pumpkin characters. Star Wars was a popular theme a while back, and there were Darth Vader and C-3PO pumpkins to go along with it. King Kong served as the inspiration for a pumpkin carving, fierce scowl and all. Cartoon characters impress the kids. Donald Duck and Bugs Bunny always get a chuckle.
Well, I must admit that does look a little like me with the mustache on it, but this is what a finished Jaws pumpkin would look like. A little bit of paint and some detailing, and you get the shark right out of the movie. With Dean Koretos at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare, this is Bob Wallace working on some fancy pumpkin carving for Channel 2 News. I think I'll take him trick-or-treating with me tonight. Boy, they'll give me everything when I show them this.